Hey guys, welcome back. So happy to have you here. It's been a long time since we've done a monthly wine club video. Throughout the summer, I'm sure you understand, it's just really challenging to be able to get the videos put out and whatnot just because we were so busy in the store, which is good, but unfortunately you guys suffer. So you've got to listen to me babble on about the wines now on a video. Lucky you. So typically, a month or two ahead of time of the wine clubs, I've already got a really good idea of what I'm going to do. And sometimes it just pops into my head. Sometimes I try to plan it, much further in advance. This one just kind of came to me, and I got a text from one of my wine reps about two wines that I absolutely love, adore. And unfortunately, they're always so hard to get. Wisconsin gets 5-7 cases, something like that. So getting them is always so hard, but they're wines I'd love to have in the store. So I decided that's the theme this month. Wines that I miss them when they're not here, and in a couple of the cases I won't ever let them run out. I will do everything I can to make sure that they're always in stock in the store. But so a very different theme, no country this time, nothing more specific, just wines that I really love, wish I could always have in stock, sometimes can't. And a case of two or three of these wines, just wines that sometimes I get them when I get them and then they're out and I can't get them again until the next year. So I just thought it'd be a fun idea, and you guys get to try some of the wines that I kind of geek out about a little bit more than some other ones. So again, if you're new, you're welcome to watch the whole video. But there will also be timestamps down in the description where you can just click on the timestamp and it can take you to the wine that you received this month, so you don't have to listen to me babble on endlessly about stuff that you don't get. But hopefully, for at least the next couple of weeks, these wines will all be in stock. Ironically, after I chose this and one of the wines was supposed to be in stock, I ordered it and it back ordered. So I am supposed to get it later this week, so if one of the wines isn't in your locker in your club, it will be here sometime this month, I promise. That's what I was told anyway. Again, the climate we're living in right now, it's just hard to get things. Logistics are a nightmare everywhere. So let's start with the wines. Wine number one, something so fun. This is one of those wines, I think 7 cases was Wisconsin's allocation this year. So I went heavy on it because it is something that I love so much. This is a wine that's a pet nat. So as you can see, it is very cloudy. Pet nat is a sparkling style of wine where instead of a traditional sparkling wine where it's already gone through both fermentations before they bottle it, so the second fermentation giving it the bubbles, this one's going through the second fermentation with the yeast still in it when they bottle it. So this is just dead yeast cells and stuff down here that's not going to harm you at all. I actually love mixing it in with the wine in this case. So the name of the wine is Orbis Moderandi, and this is a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand made into a sparkling pétillant naturel wine. The yeast in there, again, I love it in there. It adds just an extra dimension to the wine, where when I drink this wine, it reminds me of brunch. Why do I say that? Well, it's Sauvignon Blanc, so it's already got that high citrus quality. It almost kind of tastes like a mimosa just out of the bottle. But because it's sparkling, going through this fermentation, it has that champagne-like, toasty, bread-like quality from the yeast, of course. That almost reminds me of like a croissant, something like that. It just reminds me of brunch. It's like fruit and a croissant all together in a glass. And if you can't get behind that, you're weird. But as I'm looking at this, never mind, I thought it said the number of bottles produced. It does not. It's not much, unfortunately. But just a fun, really, really cool wine. So this will be your white this month. I know it's not typical to do something like this for your white, but I couldn't resist myself of getting this because I enjoy having it here in the store. So if that's the white that you got in your club, you're going to get one of these two reds or both of them, depending on the club you're in. I'm going to start with this one. if you've been in here, you've probably seen this wine, you've probably even bought this wine, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this is a wine. It is the only wine in the whole entire store that gets two display spots. I will never let this wine run out. I love it so much. This is, when I became a wine importer, this was one of the first wines that made me appreciate how I can teach people about Italian wines, because Italian wines, French wines, they do tend to be a little bit confusing. So this is a grape called Primitivo from Puglia. Puglia is the high heel of the Italy boot. And Primitivo is one of the ancestor grapes to the Zinfandel that we grow in the US. So if you're familiar with Zinfandel, if you're familiar with that style, you're going to appreciate this, you're going to understand this. It has a little bit more body and oomph than, say, a Chianti or any Sangiovese based wine from Italy. But being a warmer climate, you're just going to get a little bit more fruit, a little bit easier access to this wine without having to make it a food wine. This is one of the very few wines in the store that I describe as both a food wine and a fireplace wine. If you've heard me use that description, then you'll know what I mean. Just, again, a wine I can't not have in the store. It's a wine I, even after dealing with this wine for 12 years now, I still get excited about it. I still love it. I still enjoy it. Next up, from J. Marat. This is a winery in the Loire Valley. This is a blend, Pinot Noir, Gamay, and Malbec. A very fun, super drinkable red. Another one that was out for a little bit and I was very sad, disappointed, whatever. It's a wine that I don't like to not have in the store because at this price point, it just can't be beat. Really, everybody likes this wine. It's got the acidity to go with food. It's a little bit lighter bodied maybe for the winter than I would like to do, but I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed. It'd probably be a great Thanksgiving dinner wine or Christmas dinner wine if you're looking for something like that. Again, just a wine I truly enjoy. I don't want to go on about it too much, so I don't want to make this an hour-long video, but J. Marat Collection, again, Pinot Noir, Malbec, and Gamay blend. So if you got this guy in your wine club, this is your white for the month, and this is going to freak you out because it's not white, but it is what it is. This is another wine that I can only get, I think Wisconsin got a total of 7 cases, so I went a little deep on this one just because I do love it so much and do like to have it in the store, and when it sells out I get sad and I don't have it for 6 months and kind of kick myself for not getting more. So I want everybody to get a chance to try it. This is from Iconic Winery, and he just does some really fun, interesting stuff, and his labels are always fantastic. This is a wine called Shapeshifter, and when you get your wine, you're going to see that this is Pinot Gris, and you're going to be like, okay, Pinot Grigio, thanks, Brendan. White wine, This is what's called Ramato. So Ramato is a style of making a white wine using skin contact and almost making an orange wine, but it's probably a little closer to rosé. So they age the wine on the skins in barrels too. So it gets a little extra oomph to it, and it actually makes a great, I'm gonna call it a rosé, it makes a great rosé for cooler weather. Again, Pinot Grigio, this is from Sonoma, California. He just does such an awesome job of all of his stuff, even though some of it is a little weird. But he does some mainstream stuff too, like Merlot and whatnot. But I love this wine. Happy that it's back. It's gonna go fast, and then I'm gonna be sad for 6 months that I can't get it. But hope you guys all enjoy it. Next up, if you're getting this one in your club, we've got Yering Station. This is a Pinot Noir from Australia, which in and of itself is a little weird, unique, but as much as I don't like to do mainstream varietals too much, when I find something like this is one of those wines that as long as I can get it, I'm not going to take it out of the store. This is 2015 too, so that'll kind of explain the story a little bit. First of all, very old winery, I think from 1838. So this is from Victoria, Australia, one of the oldest wineries in Australia. And I like this wine so much because when I first started getting into wine, this was 2001. And when I was 4 years old. And I had found this Pinot Noir at a grocery store. It was on sale. It was a fairly bigger named winery. And so I was kind of surprised that it was on sale. So I asked the guy working, hey, I'm kind of new to wine. I'm trying to learn about wine a little bit more. I've heard of this winery. Why is it so cheap? Well, it's 5 years old now. I think it was a 97 or 96 vintage at that time. And people just don't like to buy old wines. He's like, I'm interested. So I bought a bottle of it. And it knocked my socks off. We don't think of Pinot Noir as necessarily being something you want to age, but it can last many years. And this one, it just reminds me of it. The character, the structure, how the fruit is developed, how it's just got so much going on now. It makes me think of a wine that really helped me start exploring wine a little bit more. And for that, I can't take it out of the store. I love the fact that it's 6 years old now, and it's right in a beautiful spot. It doesn't need to be aged anymore, but I'm sure it'll still be fine. But it just makes me want to share it. Again, with the theme, I just thought that was a good fitting wine. And another wine that I don't want to ever not have in the store, but then it got back ordered because I ordered it for Wine Club. Of course it did. But I'm being promised that it will be back in this week. But this is from Tuscany. This is from the Venucci family. The winery is called Piaggia. They are in a town called Carmignano, which is northern Tuscany. And Carmignano is, it's easy to say that Brunello is Chianti's big brother. I would say Carmignano is Chianti's big brother, and Brunello is still a step up. So kind of think of this as like a baby Brunello, if that makes sense. 100% Sangiovese. Carmignano is also allowed to grow Cabernet Franc and Merlot. Some of the best wines out of Carmignano are actually made from Cabernet Franc. Unfortunately, those wines tend to be $50, $60. Not really a wine club type of wine. But as I said, hopefully in stock this week. You'll get it maybe later than normal, which is why I kind of was delaying putting on this video, because I wanted to make sure that I could get the wines, but then, of course, logistics right now, nightmare. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Again, don't want to make this video too long, but appreciate all of you being part of our wine club. Thank you so much. Please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not yet. We always do, especially throughout the cooler months, do a lot more videos, cocktail videos, spirits, so on and so forth, not just the wine club videos that you get emailed. So hope everybody enjoys this month. Can't wait to see you guys all again soon. Happy holidays, happy November Wine Club. We'll see y'all soon. Cheers.